Wavy? Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Wanna get into it? Because I feel like you already warmed up.
Hey, I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
was warmed up. I was warmed up when I woke up.
You just woke up?
No, I said I was warmed up when I woke up, like in the morning.
Oh, okay, great.
I was feeling like I was already
I
ready.
love the
Like,
confidence. What's up, everyone? This is our podcast today. I have a very special guest. I'm really excited about him. His name is Wavy. He built his own really successful YouTube. He is really good at approaching people, and he's very approaching girls.
You not about to look this good, and I be tired.
do what? He not finna do all that and not apply no pressure. Yeah.
And he's very confident and smart. And I wanted to bring you guys a representation of someone who's actually doing the things that I always talk about mental health, emotional fitness, doing the things they value, even if there's anxiety or even if there's emotions or even if there's any experience in your thoughts or your body, that you still do the things that you value. And he's also a D1 athlete. So he has experience as a track runner, right? You were a track runner?
Yeah, academic athlete. I just graduated, but yeah,
You just graduated, but I mean, D1 athlete is a lot of competition. It's not going to do D2, D3. So even that, the emotional fitness that comes in there to be as disciplined, to be on the track, to train every day, all of those things we're going to talk about today. As I said, he built his own he's successful on YouTube and on TikTok and on Instagram. And then there goes a lot into being a creator. So if you today want to find out how to be successful with women, how to build emotional fitness, and how to build your business, you're at the right place. I'm really excited to be with you here, Wavy.
Yeah, me too, man. I just got the whole setup and everything. I'm like, okay.
I just got it.
Yeah, I peeped, man.
Yeah. Let's start with YouTube.
I looked up like what the YouTubers had and stuff. And it took me about 2 to 3 years before I started. Okay, they said this piece of equipment is messing up. Okay, don't get that. They said, oh, I like this, I like that. So in my head, I'm taking notes. While I was watching for entertainment, I was watching as a creator. So I started watching like vloggers, which is IRL stuff like DDG, Foodie 2, stuff like that. I used to look up to those guys. So I'm like, okay, I could do that. So what I do, went out, bought a camera, see what works, what doesn't work, took notes, and I just started it. And then, here I am.
I love that. You were watching as a creator. You weren't watching as a consumer. You watched other people giving you tips on what equipment to use, how to do content. And I always teach people, even when they watch TikToks, watch TikToks as, why does it take your attention? Why are you watching this? Why are you not getting bored and scrolling away? And I always also watch other people, other creators, how they're doing things. So even with you, you open your ears and you were like, oh, this I could work, this I could use. And I always say do step by step and just move forward, because you learn along the way. So I love that you shared that one.
Yeah, because I believe there's never no perfect moment or no perfect opportunity. You can have a good opportunity, but nothing's going to be perfect. If you're waiting forever, you're going to miss the opportunity. A lot of time, the opportunity.
And this is what exactly what you just said. I teach to people, because it's only the brain telling you, oh, it's not the right time yet, to avoid actually the anxiety of jumping into it, to avoid the uncertainty. And people are always like, oh, I'm not perfect yet. I need to heal first. I need to read this book first. I need to do that first. But you learn things while doing them. And the same thing, if you talk to Cristiano Ronaldo or any soccer player, they didn't learn playing soccer by reading 1,000 books about soccer. They went in to play soccer. And it's the same with social media, with anything. So I love that you I know that's these parts, these little things are so valuable for anybody to hear, because those are the things you use. And look at you, man. You're really successful at what you're doing. Using things so practical. There's a lot of people who are these self-help gurus who are
there's just one thing and this will skyrocket you here and there, not knowing everyone's circumstances is different. There's no quick fix. You have to put in the work. There's no quick fix to do this one thing. That's not how it works.
Yeah. People always look for the quick fix. Even on my TikTok, when I go live, they're always like, what's the trick to get rid of anxiety? What's the trick to get that girl? How do I get my ex back? How do I this? They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to be with uncertainty. But actually, the way to success is to be okay with uncertainty, is to fall on your face and keep going. It's like a baby a baby's not like having the balance right away, just walking. A baby like falls down, gets up, doesn't understand, finds its balance, comes back up. And over time, that's how we learn everything. So I love that you like literally showed it by like step by step. What happened then? How did you get into everything else?
Then I realized that, okay, I like these types of videos, but I tried everything. I was doing food challenges with my homeboys, like noodle challenges. I was doing public interviews, stuff like that. And I realized, okay, I think I watched like 1 or 2 interviews. I didn't really like them at the time. I just wanted to try it. I was trying everything to see what I like, because I don't want to just do one thing because I see somebody else do it. No, I want to try things out, see what works for me, and then see how the audience likes it. But of course, I was a smaller YouTuber, so nobody knew who I was. Of course, there was no views. But I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep going. So I'm uploading every day. And at first, not every day, but then I started to. And I was going up by myself. I had a camera. I learned how to do voice memos. I learned everything on my own. So I was recording people. It was bad. I was recording like this. And then I had one person here and here. Instead of learning, okay, that video came out bad. The next video I came back, okay, it's better if I have them on this side. So then if I have the camera like this, I can go like that so it's more smooth. So just kept learning because I didn't have any cameramen. Being in Duval, no one else did YouTube for real. So it was just me. So I'm like, okay, a lot of people aren't really going to support me, which is fine. Growing up, I never looked for that validation from other people. Where I was raised, I never really got a pat on the back. So I was used to not getting validated in the terms of, okay, like this video, support this video. Y'all, please share this. And then if my homeboys or family didn't do it, I wasn't upset because I'm not entitled. They don't owe me that. Therefore, I would rather get praise from random people and them show love and actually enjoy the content than people just share it. And then they feel like, okay, he owed me this, or I was there for you coming this and that. All right, just get out the mud and grind that way.
But here's my question. Why did you want to help people when no one helped you? Like it didn't seem like people were really supporting you. So why you want to help people?
See, that's a question I never fully tried to understand to this day. I just feel like growing up, I wasn't helped too much. It's not, oh, I didn't have nothing. Because, of course, you have certain support base. But it's like, I don't know, something in me was just telling me, you know, I want to help people. Like, a lot of people not where they at, where they want to be in life, sad, down. And to me, I'm thinking, bro, life is too great. Even though my life wasn't great at the time. But I knew if I open my eyes, I have an opportunity every day to make something better. So I'm thinking, okay, life is too great. How do people not see it? So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, let me just help people. And then whatever way I can help them, that will better their day.
Yeah, I do understand. I can relate so to that because it's like I got so successful because I knew no one would come for me, if that makes sense. On some point, I realized no one's coming for me. And I knew I had to do it myself. When I started helping people and they got happy, that was kind of like good people, actually, good people, like people with good hearts. And they got excited from the advice that I gave them and it helped them and they said it changed their life. That made me happy and I was good at it. With the story that you and me have is like from back in the day of like, there wasn't really, even like my friends or like friends on Instagram, they didn't care about my videos back in the day, even though I made them. I actually changed my Instagram and made a complete new one because the people didn't give a fuck about my videos. I was doing Vine back in the day. You remember Vine? Yeah, I was doing Vine, but I didn't get any views. I was doing YouTube, I didn't get any views. And when Vine went away, I put the 6-second videos on Instagram because it was so much fun. But no one was like, they were all like, what is this guy doing? No support, right? But just to continuously keep going, you get better at your skill. And at some point, you get your shot. TikTok came and you get your shot. It's interesting to me because it seems as a very aligned way of people who actually make it are people who they don't stop. They don't stop. They just keep going. And yeah, you just kept going because even I was driving Uber, I was driving Lyft. I could barely pay my rent, but I knew this is not what I'm going to do forever. I'm not going to do this forever. So I made crazy videos with my passengers in the car. I'm driving Lyft and I met this girl, Sydney, in my car and her mom visits her here in LA. She goes to a dinner with her mom and her mom's friends. She doesn't know me, but we're going to go in and she's going to be like, hey mom, that's my boyfriend. Mom's going to say, pull it off.
The
Yeah, it's a fancy restaurant, right? Okay, I can do this. I can do this. Sydney. What's my name, Sydney? What's my name? Okay. I'm really doing this. And they started to go viral. That was before self-help. But was I scared to make the videos? Had I anxiety? Yeah. But I was like, bitch, I'm not going to like not make the videos, because if I'm not make the videos, I'm gonna
you're gonna stay where you're at. Like you gotta make moves in between or in the meantime. Cause I know what you mean. Cause I used to work door to door. Like I was a door to door salesman at one point because it was for AT&T. Like knock on your door. Hey, how you doing? My name's Wavy, and I see you have internet, or like love the rug, love the carpet, and boom, they hit it with the pitch, stuff like that. And I took that job to help with my YouTube career and my communication skills, because I'm like, okay. And also just, I don't really have anxiety when approaching people. Of course, you may have a little feeling like, okay, I don't know how it's going to go, but let's do it. So that killed all doubt or anything in my mind. Okay, I'm approaching random people door to door to learn how to communicate with the age gap, because, okay, I wasn't too good with talking to older people, let's say like 60 to like 80. So, okay, me doing door to door, I could talk to different age groups, really just communicate, have an open conversation, and learn how to sell without going to school in sales. So they gave me like the whole breakdown and stuff. I learned 5 things to do. Like you could talk to people that never run out and stuff like that. So it was a lot of communication skills, and also just doing interviews. What people don't see is you get turned down a lot. Hey, how you doing? Want to be interviewed? And that, no, this and that, rude, bye, slam the door in your face, stuff like that. So it was a lot of build up. It was funny though, but I definitely did not like that job. But I did it so I could take what I needed, and then I started doing like Uber Eats, DoorDash, stuff like that. So we kind of similar with that too, because I'm like, okay, I don't want to work. I want to do this. But what people go wrong is they go all in without having a plan, because my plan was, okay, technically I'm self-employed because I'm delivering food and stuff like that. I can work on my own time, and it gives me more free time to do YouTube because I didn't have no time with other jobs. So you just stay in a job and stuff like that until you can supplement the income with other income. So don't quit until one thing makes the same, and then vice versa. Because people just go all in and other stuff.
People who do social media, I have a lot of respect for them, because it's real work if you're really into it. Yeah, if you're a hot girl, you make like 1 video a day, you're fucking good. You don't have to do shit.
Oh my gosh.
But, yeah, it's like you have all the sims who like, some people have an easy pass, but hot girls have an easy pass. That's fine. It's fine, but it doesn't build character.
They can do that. That's the card they're dealt. That's fine, yeah.
It still doesn't, everybody has their cards, right? And like everybody has different cards, and you have to just play your cards right. But your cards work in a different way than other people's cards work. Like people are always like, oh, I have to do it exactly like Gary Vee did. I have to do it exactly like Anthony Robbins did, because they put someone on a pedestal and make them an authority. But if you can't be like them, because it doesn't come out real, it doesn't come out like you, and then people are not gonna like it. Plus, you're not gonna like it because you're always trying to be someone else, and you don't understand why it doesn't work to put the square round in the, I don't know what's the saying, the square round in the.
It's like a game. I know what you're talking about. Like, it's a circle and you try to put a square in it. It's basically like someone trying to say someone watches you, right? And they say, okay, Jesse did this, he did this. I want to be like Jesse. You can never be Jesse better than Jesse, aka you can't follow a man's shadow and expect to be better, because it's always going to be the original. So you have to take what Jesse does, or Wavy does, or Gary Vee, or anyone who's successful, take stuff from them that you like and implement in you while still keeping yourself, like still being somewhat original. Because nothing in life is fully original. Everyone gets a thought from somewhere, or wanting to start something from somewhere, make something better. So I feel like people just need to understand that you can still go up, but be you at the end of the day. Don't change yourself for society and other people.
I totally agree. We can learn so much from other people, but trying to be other people to get validation will always fuck you up, because it will build more insecurity. I always say this: if you show your brain that you love chasing validation, your brain will give you more feelings of insecurity, because it wants to support you in whatever you're doing. Your brain's language is behavior. So it wants to support you in whatever you're doing. And if you love chasing validation, it's like, oh, they love chasing validation. The brain doesn't judge it. It's just like, how can I support him in chasing more validation? The brain doesn't have arms, it doesn't have legs to support you, but it has emotions, thoughts, and bodily sensations. So it will give you it will give you insecurity. So you chase more validation. It will give you thoughts that you're not good enough yet. It will give you thoughts that you need another Lamborghini or you need more followers to be worthy.
You gotta be happy with who you are and what you have.
More. Yeah. Exactly. But if you do the things you value because you value them, you show your brain with your behavior that you value yourself, that you value the things, and then your brain supporting you in that. And I feel like a lot, so for example, I love like I go every day and I buy like packs of like walnuts. I pay maybe sometimes like $60 a week for walnuts just to feed squirrels. I love feeding squirrels. I love animals.
On your
right?
platforms, I think you got a pro. I peeped one time on one of your TikToks. I think it's your main one, and you were doing that, so like your daily routine, stuff like that. Pretty sure I liked the video, and you got approached. Yeah. Someone came up to you and approached you, so that was cool.
There's another one. Hey, there's enough for everyone. I don't give a fuck what like a girl thinks, like, or someone else thinks. And this is, I think, where people get it wrong. If you are unapologetic about what you love, it's still going to be attractive because you're like, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. This is what I'm doing. I do what I value. Maybe they don't like, oh, you're feeding squirrels. I don't give a fuck, like, because this is what I value. And even when the feeling of embarrassment, the old pattern comes up of like, oh, I was bullied. Other people would judge me for that. If you do it anyway, you overriding that and you showing the brain that you, and that's how confidence gets created. And I feel like that's exactly what you're doing, like, because you're on camera in Miami, talking to, in uncertainty, to all kinds of strangers. And like, but you stay with yourself. We know on YouTube, there's Miami the Kid, right? And I don't know all of them, sorry, by name, right? I like to always explore like communities on YouTube. I just like fall into it. I saw some videos and then I found you too. But like a lot of the people in that community are also like almost like chasing validation, like trying to be like, okay, I'm the one who, I'm only worthy if I'm the one who on camera gets the most girls. But I feel like when you do it, it's take it or leave it. You just be you. That's what I'm saying. You just be you. And yeah, you know the tools, but I feel like you're not chasing value in a girl. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like, it doesn't really do nothing for me because to me it's normal. Even if, regardless, I woke up alone how I started that day, I'm gonna go to sleep alone. So it's like this is a plus. Like my mom always taught me, if it happens, great. If not, cool. Like regardless, I'm good. I'm chilling, and I don't really care on the outcome because women is women, you know. Of course, it's cool to have companionship, but it's like I'm happy with myself. I'm at peace alone. I like to be alone, and I know how to be alone, so I don't get lonely by myself. So it's like ain't no one else. It's just an additional what I have going on. But you can only get to that point when you work on yourself. For me, I work out, eat right, meal prep, all that, and it transfers over into real time. So that's my method.
Why do you think there's so many guys being unhappy when they don't get the ex back or if they don't get the girl they want? And they almost like, why do you think it's like they put their value in getting a girl and almost like this neediness, like they think their happiness is in that girl? Why do you think that is?
I think it's pretty much what you just said. The happiness is in that girl and not so much within themselves. Because if you're really happy with yourself, she used to be an addition. Like no female, no matter what they say, they don't want you to put all into them. Like they should be an addition to your life because they want to feel like, okay, he has this, and this, but I can fit in here, here, and here. And that'll make y'all more complete. Vice versa with her. Like she needs to know herself and who she is too. And they come together. And as far as men, they don't fully know themselves and haven't take time out to cut off the phone and get off social media, get off the game, get off social media and go out in the real world or just meditate and learn yourself. Okay, I've been through this, and this. Okay, that sucked, but I learned this, and this. Like you always need to learn something from your past outcomes so you don't make the same mistake and repeat, because that's what the toxic thing and all this and that is. If you know you're toxic, then you have enough self-awareness to realize, okay, why am I toxic? And then, of course, nobody wants to do the work. Everyone just wants to claim toxic and do whatever the trend is. But if you learn yourself and realize that regardless if you get with her, you will still feel unhappy at some point once you get out that less than stage or whatever and realize that, okay, dang, I'm with her, but I still don't feel so good. I'm still not happy. It's because you're not happy with yourself.
like it's almost like this happy with yourself. To me, it's a mental concept. To me, it's like I don't even think about if I'm happy with myself. I'm actually, if I answer honestly, I'm actually like really cool. Yeah, I'm happy with myself. I'm happy alone, but I don't like think about it because what I do is actually just like I'm just doing the things I want to do, and like because I feel like if you have this mental concept, am I confident enough? Am I happy enough with myself? You're always chasing like a certain feeling instead of making it like, what are the things I want to spend my time on? But I wanted to ask you something else because you are very interesting because you almost stick out of almost that community as someone who doesn't try to show their value by how many girls they get. Yeah, you're like you're called the one of the smoothest guys on YouTube, right? And that's a great title. But when I look at your videos, what I see is almost like this war with a girl on frame, and you're just really good at holding the frame. But I think it's because you're really good at being with yourself. Like you don't try to. I had this shout out to Rochelle from Toronto. She's an opera singer, and I do acting. And I was like, she gave me the best tip on auditioning ever. She was like, don't ever give your power away. It's like when you're in the audition room and the casting directors are looking at you, and a lot of people are like needy. They like lean in, oh, give me this job. I do everything to give this job. And she said this crazy. She said, don't lean in. Don't ever give your power away. Keep it with you. You are good enough. And I feel like that's what I see in you also when you talk to girls. And a lot of girls, this is no like, but a lot of girls, but also a lot of men don't do this self-development where they work on themselves. They always look at the shiny things outside. They look at which shiny cars can I get? Which shiny man can I get? And I think you are very like, when I see you approach in your videos, you're like pretty like stable, and you're almost like, you're not doing a lot. You're just strong in yourself, and you keeping, so to say, a frame. But I don't think you act. I think you are confident, and but this is almost like a war where the woman tests and she looks, is he who he says he is, right? And she waits, and you can see him like when the guy's like flinching with his eyes, or like the girls a lot of times are like, no, you're done, right?
Like the tone isn't there. Yeah, I know what you mean. But really, I just show indifference. I think that's the word for it, indifference. Like, I don't care what happens from this interaction. Because like you said, they're chasing shiny things. Go here. The gold is your heart and your mind. So once that's polished enough, you're good regardless. So it's like, I just have fun. Like, I honestly, like, I don't care what I say. So it may sound funny or whatever, but it's like, bro, I don't care. Either she likes what I says or not. Because also, people don't understand, if you be yourself, if she likes you enough, she'll make up excuses for you. Okay, this is now like what she normally looks out for, certain flags. Okay, he has this, but what he said was kind of funny. It was different. Okay, I like this. I'm intrigued. And then, they just eye contact. So it's over with.
Yeah. Have you always been like this since you were a child? That it was, because I saw this in an interview where you said you actually used to not like to be around, and you didn't want to do the interviews outside. Maybe I got it wrong, but were you always good with girls?
I would say, I think in an interview, I said I didn't really like people like that, but really it was people's tendencies.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
I used to be an introvert just because I saw how people act. I used to be around the older kids and the younger kids because I had an old soul. That's what older people used to tell me. So like, I can hang around different age groups, and I learned, okay, how guys talk about is this, that, having fun with a female, stuff like that, and that's it. It ain't got no face like that. I'm like, bro, y'all don't want to have fun. This all y'all want to talk about. And the kids, they weren't doing nothing to value my eyes. So I'm like, okay. So with me, when I was younger, I used to go around, probably like my biggest simp moment or whatever, stuff like that. Like I used to go around writing poems and jump for females. Like, well, it was bad, but like, elementary, bro. Yeah.
6. Okay,
so going around with approach anxiety, whatever, really didn't exist like that. Because I just kept going to women, writing poems, stuff like that. It did not work. I mean, I got friends with them, but like, the fact that I could do that at a young age, I always had that, not infatuation, but I was always interested in women. Like it was cool. Like it always fascinated me. So now as a time, I just learned.
Yeah. When you do these interviews, it like part of it is also you are you're getting content. Like you are there for an intention. You are there for your job. So I think that also takes a lot of like weight off in a sense, because you're not there just like wasting your time talking to these females just for no reason. You are trying to make a bat. You're trying to like make something out of yourself, right? So yeah. So that also helps because you have an intention. Hey, if this doesn't work out, maybe I get just good footage. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but also with that is, it's more so the message behind it, because remember I told you I always want to help people. So on my YouTube videos, my main channel, every single video, I got the entertainment portion, the sauce and girls, this and that. And this takes people away from whatever problem they're going through. Because like I said, people live through entertainment. That's why entertainment is one of the biggest industries. They want to get away from the 9 to 5, the toxic relationships, all this and that.
Exactly.
So I took your mind away from that. So I already helped someone there. Then I got the inspiration throughout too. Some people may want to be like, just learn to live life the way they want. And then I got the motivation at the end, my outros. It'd be like at least a minute to a minute 30. Motivating people, they can do whatever they want, this and that. Chase your dreams, don't worry about nobody. So I know that without this portion, they're not going to get this. So this is like the surprise portion. That's something they needed, but they didn't want.
I got you. That's smart, and that's what I always like understand too. There has to be an aspect of entertainment, even in my TikToks. Like not so much entertainment, but it has to be interesting. It has to be. That's why I play my characters too in the TikTok.
You really think humans are not gonna recognize alien like this? No. Most people are so busy thinking about themselves, they will never notice. What? Earth is so beautiful. They always think about themselves, how they see the beauty.
That helps a lot to get a wider audience. But what I really want to say is that I do feel like that entertainment aspect, if people just do that, is toxic. And the reason for that is because they don't do nothing with their lives. They just hanging in front of YouTube, distracting themselves from their thoughts and their anxiety, just watching things that, like, it's an addiction. It's just another addiction. Any addiction is using things to make your feelings feel better. I don't want to have my thoughts. I don't want to have my emotions. So I love that you are literally showing like, hey, you can go up to girls first off, and then at the end of your videos, you give motivation. Have you ever looked into my videos when I talk about emotional fitness?
Yeah, I've seen some, just like understanding why you feel the way you feel.
Yeah. So what I talk about is actually that the more you avoid anxiety, the more you avoid talking to people, the more anxiety you will get. Because your brain actually works this way, and this comes from ACT therapy. If you avoid the things that you want to do, the things that you value, build relationships, talk to people, have social skills, you're showing your brain that this must be dangerous. Because why would you avoid it if it wasn't dangerous? Like, why would you avoid anything? So your brain works on behavior. It looks what you're doing. So by you avoiding those things, the brain's like, no, this must be dangerous. And again, the brain doesn't have arms, fists, tentacles to hold you back. But the brain knows if it gives you more anxiety, more depression, you will not go to that party. So the brain will actually just want to protect you because it thinks those things are dangerous. And it knows if it gives you more depression, stay in bed, watch some more TikToks, watch some more YouTube, you will not go into the dangerous part. So we have to be the adults. We have to be the dad of the brain, or so to say, the dad of the little child that some people say, and take the child's hand and take it into those situations. And that's what you're doing. You are actually bringing yourself in these situations that for other people, I mean, I bet you have a lot. I saw a TikTok of you, by the way, where you showed like 4 or 5 kids. It was recently going up to girls.
Yeah, come on, how you doing, like?
You see something you like, don't care, bro. I don't care what she got to say. She say I'm ugly, she don't like me, whatever. Is she biting?
How you approach it? How you approach it?
No, nice brown.
Brown?
Yeah, take the picture. Okay, right.
Hold on. Oh, wait, let me record. Hey, how you ladies know? I seen you in front of camera. I was hopping in the room. What's your name, friend? KT. Where you from, KT?
Jersey.
Oh, Jersey vibes. Hey, how you doing, friend?
Well,
Okay, so what you doing tonight?
I'm not here. Let's go with the vibes.
Bet you need to move. Look, the vibe right here. The vibe me and you. See your phone.
What's your government name?
My name Wavy. But look, I really want you to give me a nickname.
Where you from?
Duval County. Okay. Nice to meet you, friend. I would dap you up. I do hugs.
Alright.
I'm gonna see you later, friend. Yeah. How you do it right now? You know what I mean? So y'all gonna watch the tape, stuff like that, but it's really introducing yourself, all that, and you go from there.
And then they said, and I love what you did. They said it helps that the camera's there. It does help that the camera's it does help that the camera's there because the girls know, oh, it's something enticing. Oh, he might be famous on YouTube. Oh, he might be this and that. But then you were like, okay, let me turn the fucking camera off.
And we being honest, that camera do kind of help.
Stop right there with me.
We're gonna turn the camera off and go do it again.
No.
Stop. Hey, look, now look, I need y'all to tell the vlog, you feel me, what happened off camera. I don't think they be, Come on, now.
Off camera, not
If y'all see something y'all want, cause I seen them about earlier, you feel me, go up, grab them, and worst case they say no, boy, you always get out my face, you feel me, but at least you tried. And just like that,
Buddy certified for sure. Buddy definitely certified. That's real.
I don't give a fuck. What's your name? Dave? My name is Wavy, by the way. I'll give you my number. I met you in real life. I'm talking too much. You don't know yet? Don't worry. I met your phone friend.
And I'm like, this mother don't miss.
No, he's good.
So you turned the camera off and you went and you talked to the girl and you had success. I don't give a fuck about having success. You still went without the camera talking to the girl. So what I want to give the message here is I don't believe, but you can tell me if I'm wrong, I don't believe that you don't have a certain anxiety or uncertainty, or we all have emotions or like just butterflies or sometimes maybe you don't feel like it, but you are such a great representation of I'm doing it anyway. And by that, I'm showing my brain that it's okay. And by that, of course, you have less anxiety because you're showing your brain or the little child, this is okay. We can be around people. We can say the things we want to say. And you're such a great representation of doing it anyway. Now, my question is, do you ever have in between like the sets or the people you talk to, oh, anxiety here or like there, but you do it anyway? Or you might not feel like it this time, but you do it anyway.
A certain time, like if the day is going long, because I'm on my feet the whole time I'm filming, so it does get long. But in my head, if anyone tells you who's in my niche, whatever, that oh they don't have any thoughts, like I don't get anxiety, but sometimes the thought may come across, okay, I don't know how this interaction is gonna go. That's the first thing. That's normal for everyone. Oh, I'm gonna.
They're lying, but right? They're lying.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, I don't know how it's gonna go. But then right after that, I don't care, let's go. Or effort, let's do it. And I just go because that's impulse. Exactly. And at that point, I don't have time to play fake scenarios in my head because I'm already going into it. So I'm already this deep, I gotta keep going. And I just say whatever comes to mind.
You just said the perfect thing because this is what I teach too. There's outside compulsions outside of your head where it's like, I'm avoiding talking to that girl because of my anxiety. But then there's inside compulsions inside of your head. That's a thought coming in. Oh, what if she rejects me? We cannot control that thought. That automatically comes in. But if you talk back, yeah, that might be her boyfriend. She might reject me. Maybe the next girl. Maybe this is not the right time. That conversation is also a compulsion and it will cause more anxiety. And the beautiful thing is you don't give a fuck what that thought says. You do it anyway. Does it make sense? You show your brain that you don't care about the old patterns of not feeling good enough, not being ready, and that might be, that's just an example. That might not be your pattern, but there's common patterns of, oh, I might not look good enough for guys, or this girl might not like me. She might only like NBA players, whatever thoughts come in that say, this is why you can't do it. If we don't react to it and we don't talk back and we mindfully come back to just like going up and doing it anyway, that's how we're showing our brain that we are good enough. That's how we're showing your brain. And I think you've done it so much anyway that now it's just like second nature to you in a sense.
What you said was a good example when you said one example you said, or the excuses that people use, oh, she might have a boyfriend, this and that. So there's been times where I've seen a female with like a dude, and sometimes it'd be guy friends, but you never know that. So in people's mind, oh, she don't have a boyfriend, this and that. But if she's giving you intrusive signals too, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, that might be her boyfriend. Okay, so let me go up, be respectful, and ask, like, hey, are you guys together, this and that, before I work my move. So in that case, there's really no excuse, because as long as you ask, is it, yeah, we date, oh, my fault, this and that, ooh. It's a respectful way. But if she don't know she's a friend, or even some guys be like, oh, go ahead, bro, this and that, this is ooh. Or even if they swing the other way, you know, some guys like, oh, go ahead, talk to him, this and that, this is ooh. And it's like, you'll never know until you make the approach. So there's no room for like, okay, what if this? Just go in the moment. Because like we said before, you're going to miss the opportunity of a lifetime of opportunity. So you got to just say F it. Like, you only live once. You may not wake up tomorrow. Hopefully everyone does. But you have to enjoy every moment and live life to the fullest. In the way you want, not with societal pressures and norms they want you to do. Live life the way you want.
I love that you say that, because a lot of people are avoiding the thought of death. They are avoiding it with social media. They're avoiding it with religions, right? And I believe in God. I believe in but I believe God's like energy around us. Everything is God to me, okay? But I think people use religions and they use astrology.
Yeah, the signs and
they use
numbers,
all kinds of things to get control, right? To get control, to say, oh, this person fits to me. Even astrology is literally, you know why girls are so addicted to it? Because at least they have a little bit of labels. And it's interesting, but they have a little bit of label of, oh, if I know this sign about that guy, at least I know a little bit what it could be. It's a control addiction. People want control. And in addition, it's a trend. It's interesting, and they make it more interesting. But the biggest thing is, they try to get control. Same thing with religion. You're trying to know what happens after death. And you try to know that you're safe by saying, if I do these things, I'm going to go to heaven, I'm going to hell. I love when people have their religions and are you religious? Yeah. So you're religious, but religion doing it from values, that's a beautiful thing. And practicing it from I love the connection to God, and but not coming from a place of fear. Oh, if I don't do these things, I am this and that. So I don't know how we can. Oh, death. I love what you said, where it's we have to enjoy every moment, because we literally don't know when we're going to die. But a lot of people avoid that uncertainty. And that's what I teach people. It's embrace the uncertainty, because by avoiding the idea of death, you're avoiding living. You avoid life because you're so scared of death. It's the same thing that was with the last 2 years that we cannot talk about right now, with trying to get safe. Everything was we keep you safe. We keep you safe. Yeah. Don't worry about it. We keep you safe. But no one was living. They were this is the most craziest insanity. But a lot of people, because they're so brainwashed by society, try to be certain and try to get control and try to avoid embarrassment, try to avoid talking to girls, try to avoid talking to guys, trying to avoid being hurt. That's why they don't go in relationships, right? But by trying to avoid those things, you never have relationships. And you manipulate, you never come close to a person, you never met a ride or die person or something like that. And not that you only need one person, it can be several, but it's the avoidance of emotions, the avoidance is actually you avoiding life. And that's why I always say, we got to go into uncertainty and be okay with uncertainty and be okay with uncomfortable emotions. And that's the only way we can live. So I loved that you said that. Do you have anything to share about that?
I would just say be uncomfortable. No, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like you said, with religions, and stuff like that. A lot of people hide behind certain things instead of just accepting life for what it's for. Everyone has a life cycle. No matter how long, everyone has a life cycle. So you just got to embrace and enjoy it and be happy enough in your life to where, say it is my time to go, I've lived life the way I wanted to, and everything else is an addition. Because for me, I accepted that a long time ago, at age 12, 15. So around that area, I just accepted it because a lot of stuff happened in my life to where it's okay, I could have been gone. But now, since I'm still here, everything else in addition is multiple times. So it's okay, life is great. Every day I wake up, I got another opportunity to make something shake. dang, today didn't go the way I wanted to, but tomorrow's gonna be better. And each day, something's gonna shake. So just keep going, keep going, keep going, and realize that until you're comfortable with what you've done, and if you don't like, if you look back at your track record, your history, and say, dang, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, you still have time to change that. Like, it's never too late for whatever you want to do, whether you're 80, 90, 100 watching this, or you're 10, 8, whatever. Like, you got nothing but time and opportunity. As long as you're breathing, you got opportunity.
I love that. That was the best motivator. That needs to be clipped on TikTok. That was like the best motivator. Nah, seriously. I want to know if you, if that's not too forward. When you were 12, what was that resolution? Where did it come from? Only if you want to share, of course. But, or even if you don't want to share what happened, what was the moment where you woke up and you were like, oh, damn, like everything is a plus. And it's like this freeing feeling of like, I can just do whatever I want. It's not even that
Well, I
big
would
of a
have said I
deal.
woke up from it. I got a wake up call. So long story short, boom. So it was like me and two other my homeboys. We were walking to CC's Pizza because we didn't have no whip. So we were walking like a CC's Pizza down the road, whatever. And we ended up getting robbed at gunpoint. So it was me. The gun was at me, and then my other friend was wrestling with somebody with a gun. So it's like, and then we don't know how many people was in the whip. So boom, we getting robbed at gunpoint. I had a gun in my chest, stuff like this. Now, mind you, me being me, I was never really scared of nothing. Like, I wasn't scared at all. Like, I was more mad. Like, yo, I just came from a cross-country meet, stuff like that. Like, yo, I'm ready to go. And then it basically holding me up. In my head, I'm thinking, bro, you holding me up, this and that. And I could look in his eyes and tell he wasn't going to do nothing. Like, he wasn't about it. But I could have easily maneuvered, stuff like that, tried that. But my homeboy was over here wrestling, like, where he's tweaking over his phone. Because that's why they can, because he had like a little light up case on his phone. I guess they saw it from the whip, double back. But he's wrestling with him, so I'm thinking, okay, if I try this and I do what I, you feel me, do what I do to him, he may see that and then get out my homeboy who's struggling with him. Because they just shoot the ground and stuff like that. Or I don't know how many people's in this whip. So me having situation awareness, I'm like, all right, boom. So I end up, because nobody want to give it their stuff, so I end up giving them my stuff. It was nothing but sweaty shoes and uniforms. Because I knew I had a big bag, so I'm like, okay, maybe they might think, boom, I stuff in this bag, I give it up. So I gave it to him, boom. Them boys left. My homeboy kept his phone. I got us up that situation. But it's like, after that point, I wasn't even scared because I lived my life to where I want to be. So now, ever since then, I realized life could be taken away like this. Like a car crash could be just like this. So I'm realizing every time, even me taking a breath, something could stop working, one of my organs. So I realized that up until then, I've lived life the way I want on my terms. Of course, not fully everything because you need more resources, stuff like that. But for what I had, I love myself. Like the J. Cole song, I love yours. I love where I was at. I love where I'm going. And that's how I really came to terms with that. So everything else in addition.
How old were you?
I think I was like 17. Yeah.
That's crazy. And you had a gun in your chest, and your friend had a gun on him too.
Yeah, it was, I think 3 people hopped out. No, 2 hopped out, 1 drive. I don't know who else was in the whip. But so my homeboy was over here on the ground wrestling with one of the robbers, whatever, with a gun.
He was wrestling with a guy with a
because he wanted to
gun.
keep his phone. He was more scared of his mom getting mad that he lost his phone with him.
Well, I'm giving my phone up right away, bro. Like the phone is not
He was
worth
more
it.
scared of his mom at the time. You know, we kind of somewhat younger, so he's like, okay, because moms don't play. But I'm like, bro. And then me and my other homeboy, and I just didn't want to risk nothing. But it was definitely dumb at the time. And I told him afterwards, and he realized, I think like a year or something later, like, yo, that was dumb. So I put y'all boys in my position, this and that. Yeah. Because shots were fired.
But no shots went off.
Well, no shots went off. It was just to like intimidate. It wasn't to actually shoot him. But he could have, but he ain't. There's just a lot of emotion involved too, because they put their all into a woman, which I never think putting your all into a woman. A good portion of you, your best self, your true self into a woman, but not your all, because if you put your all in there, you have everything to lose once she's gone. Then you have nothing.
Exactly. You got to have your power. You got to have yourself. You got to be the first important person for yourself. And by the way, you cannot give someone love if you don't love yourself. You're basically just chasing emotions. I always say this. This is what I truly believe, and I want to hear your opinion, okay? This is what I truly believe is most relationships. Most relationships, the partners don't care about each other. They care about the emotions that the other partner can give them. I truly believe it's like an emotional addiction, because most relationships are like, oh, I'll wait 45 minutes to text back so I have the power in the relationship, so I don't get hurt. So it's all about keeping the emotion, not getting hurt, trying to get the excitement out the relationship, choosing the person who has the most followers, who has the most vibe, who has most whatever, to get more emotions. And then after the relationship's over, they hate each other, because then they need to make their emotions better again, make their emotions feel better again by talking to their girlfriends. Oh, he was a narcissist the whole time. He was gaslighting me the whole time. He was the worst person the whole time. Because then they need to make their feelings feel better there. So everything is about making feelings feel better. And everybody knows in mental health that trying to make your feelings feel better is a compulsion and is an addiction. So I truly believe that it's really rare that there's actually two people who care about each other, who are partners. And that would be two people acting on values, acting on love, if they feel like it or not. Yeah, there has to be a connection, but it's about, like, love is about, and loyalty is about actions. You cannot say you loyal if you always acting on emotions. Oh, when I feel good, I treat him good. When I feel bad, I treat him bad. That's not loyalty. Loyalty is, I have my values in the relationship. Where do I want to grow in the relationship? What do I want to give in the relationship? And even if I have a bad day, if I'm on my period, if I have this, if I have that, I do these things. I support my partner. I help my partner. And I feel like that's the rarest thing, and especially nowadays, because now the attention on girls through social media is so big. They have such a huge options that they don't need to do anything anymore, but it just destroys the character of society. What do you think?
I would
about
agree. And you can put it in even simpler terms. I feel like when it be like females love the men unconditionally, I feel like everything in life is somewhat conditional. Like with relationships, okay, I'm gonna treat him this way. I'm gonna make him feel good, or under condition that he keeps me feeling good. So feelings, and then it's like, or I'm gonna, okay, say some females give men because money, stuff like that, and guys give female for looks. I'm gonna keep providing this to her under the condition that she still looks like this, or even with business opportunities. I'm gonna work with this person under the condition that these terms are met. So I feel like a lot of things in life are conditional, and even with relationships, it's more so feeling based, because a lot of times, like you said, if I'm gonna treat them good because it's going good, and when I feel bad, I'm gonna treat them bad, it's because a lot of times they don't know themselves, and they didn't really talk about things that need to be talked about to build that foundation between the two. Because if you built a strong foundation, you would know, okay, we're going to a relationship. I like this. I like this. I don't like this. These are my principles. These are no, but vice versa. It's not just man. What I say go no. These things I don't like happens. These happens over with. Vice versa with her. What are your principles? And then we keep adding stuff to really build a foundation. Because if we're gonna do it, I think people should get in a relationship to actually love each other and learn each other, not just, oh, we're boyfriend, girlfriend, that title, because they chase the validation and title. Oh, post me, post this, post that. Like, you're not in a relationship for a relationship anymore. It's just for a feeling. It feels good.
Because a lot of guys will also lose their self-respect and their value just to stay with that girl. Like, they will let themselves be treated bad just to stay with that girl, but in the end, she loses self-respect, so she will leave
Just say, I have somebody, oh, I bagged this person, oh, this and that. You bagged each other. Both of you guys add value, and you come together and be valuable. So I feel like it's a lot of things in between.
Yeah, and then communicating I love what you said about communicating the values, like what do we actually care about? And then acting on that and calling each other out. If someone is like disrespectful, don't let that slide. Like, look at it and be like, is that something that's helpful to what we want to grow? Because if we have the same values together and we want to grow in that direction, we do that with actions. I give practical example. If two people love doing activities together, travel together, doing outside stuff together, and say that's what we want to do, and then one person is like just for like weeks staying at home and on the couch, and like that's not like the thing that they agree to grow towards. And then we got to communicate like why that is. Like, that's just a simple example, you know?
Because also at times, if you don't address it, you may feel unhappy. Then you may form this resentment towards them, instead of keeping it a buck and say, hey, we talked about this. I don't like you do this. I think you should or we should try to go out a little more. So let me understand why you want to stay in more instead of just, oh, she's always on the couch. Oh, this, that, and man, she never and then that's building up problems in your head instead of actively communicating as soon as you see the problem. Because then I'll have a lot of arguments and stuff like that too. And then also you got to work in your presentation, because with women and in life, it's not what you say, it's how you said it. So that comes with terms of communication too, and working that relationship as well.
I love that. Let me jump to like your videos when you on Miami Beach, right? You're usually on the boardwalk. I love Miami Beach, by the way. I've been like twice and I stayed for like a month. I'm seeing a pattern of like the girls who come like on the videos, even on Fresh and Fit. Do you watch Fresh and Fit? Yeah, I'm just seeing a pattern of women on there and women that are like, okay, does he have gold chains? Is he an influencer? Does he have followers? How much money does he have? And then looks, of course, and all that. But it's almost like this chasing of something. If they're attractive, I would have sex with them. Yeah, I would like totally have sex with them. If they're attractive, okay. If they like complete dickheads, I wouldn't. Seriously, like I'm grown enough that it's like, no, bitch, you're not disrespecting me. Get the fuck out of here. But if they're like vibing, they're fun, and they're attractive, I'm gonna have sex with them. But then it depends on if I'm gonna be in a relationship with them, if they're loyal, if they like even like have the same values, if we can make videos together, if they support me in my business, if they're acting on their feelings all the time and they're like, no, I'm tired. Or if they're like, no, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna do even if I'm tired, I'm gonna do this video with you right now. So those are the types of women I want to be in relationships with, right? What I'm asking you is, if you could tell something from like what I just said, from these two things that I see, maybe I missed something, you can add something, but if you could say something to women today as an advice to be a good partner or be a character strong woman, what would you say to any woman out there?
I think a lot of times we can just speak on past experiences, because I know everyone has a past. So I would just say, still continue to be that good version of you, regardless of what happens with guys in the past, because a lot of times it may have taken that one guy that did you wrong in the past to learn from that, heal from that. So then we come to the next man, he actually may treat you right, have good intent. But because you feel some type of way about the last guy, you bring more baggage on to the next guy. And then that may put a lot on him, and then you may throw him off, or, oh, I don't like guys, this and that. My last guy did this and that. Because a lot of people would say, okay, with females, you can talk to the same female, two guys, and get a different result. So I don't believe in the modern women, modern this, that. Like I do, because it is real, but also it takes the right man who's dominant, masculine, and can really put in that feminine energy, as in the guys that, this is for the women that y'all would talk to, is still be yourself regardless of what happened. I know it may have hurt, you may still be healing from the trauma, but always put your best foot forward, because you may miss a good opportunity stuck on what happened in the past. Like, don't generalize men. And also put out what you want to get back. So that also plays hand in hand with what I just said, because if you're having low vibration or bad energy, just moping around or having a stank attitude, it basically just means like you're not really receptive to conversation. Even though I know guys may approach you stuff like that, oh, cat call, or just come off wrong, or be weird, or stalkerish, whatever. But you got to think there's still good guys past that. You got to get past those guys to get to the boss. It's like playing chess. So just don't be too much on what happened here. Focus on what's going to happen next. So just be the best version of you. Also, you're good with or without the man. Y'all don't need any man to feel beautiful or pretty or feel like you're enough of value. As long as you value yourself, that's all that matters. So that's my little segment straight for the women. So.
I love that. What would you say to the man?
First and foremost, self-improve and get on your purpose. Like, you guys really need to realize that no one is going to help you. No one helped Jesse. No one helped me. We have to be our own hero. And that's fine, but you have to start somewhere. Like, it's more to life than just women. Yes, it's cool, play this and that. You have fun, do what you do, woo-woo. But at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable being alone, getting your purpose, because no female long-term will like a man who doesn't have any money. They'll get with broke guys because you show ambition and hustle. but that's only to a certain degree, a certain time limit. Okay, you don't have anything here,